Well, I had a headache that I've never had before, and it was extremely scary because what was happening was I was sitting at my desk, and all of a sudden I had a sharp pulsating pain around a 7 near my shunt site. That's concerning considering the shunt controls the CSF fluid, which maintains the ability for my brain to have fluid flow in and out so it doesn't swell up and explode. Not really, but And the pain would migrate down the right side of my forehead toward my eyebrow, then stop. But the weird thing was that it would pulsate for like a few seconds to a minute, and then it would stop. I'm like, okay, that's weird. But then it happened again and again and again. So every 5 to 10 minutes, I'm getting this pulsating feeling in the exact same spot near my shunt, down the right side of my forehead. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. I'm not a doctor. I tried calling neurosurgery in order to avoid going to the ER and wasting doctors' time, because I don't like going to the ER. It takes hours. I tried calling neurosurgery. They don't pick up. I'm on hold for like half an hour. They don't pick up. So I leave a message with the receptionist. And she is very concerned about me. She's like, I think you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, okay. But she sent a message to neurosurgery clinic and they were supposed to call me back. So I wait 2 hours. No call. Neurosurgery doesn't get the message. I don't know. I had my boyfriend come home and he takes me to Seattle. It's about an hour drive. And within half an hour of getting to the ER, I'm taken back to a bed and they're like, okay, this is serious. This is upsetting. Like, you're having something going on. About half an hour to an hour after that, I have a doctor come in and he says, have you heard of a trigeminal neuralgia headache? And I'm like, no. I have not. What is that? Apparently that is a kind of headache where there's pressure on the vascular system within your brain, and that can destroy the myelin sheath of the vascular system. And that can cause intermittent pulsating pain. But he says, oh, but because you have a shunt, we want to make sure there's nothing wrong with your shunt, because that could be, deadly or worse. So we're going to do all the tests and we'll get back to you. So 7 hours later, after they've done CT scans, shunt series, which is an x-ray of my shunt, blood tests, and they've done everything and said, you know what? You're fine. So we think it's the trigeminal neuralgia headaches. So just follow up with the headache clinic. They gave me a prescription. But before they gave me the prescription, they said, okay, so we want to give you, what's it called? Carbenzapine. But according to our system, it's going to interact with your Latuda, your bipolar medication, and that's going to be a problem. I said, okay, well, I have to take my Latuda, so I can't, stop taking that in order to take your magical headache medication. So they're like, okay, well, how about this other medication, which is called oxcarbenzapine? I'm like, okay, sure. They're like, it's less reactive. I'm like, okay, if you say it's going to help me, let's take it. So I take a dosage in the ER while I'm there, and then we drive home. Drive home takes about an hour and a half, and during that car ride, I start developing a stiff neck. That's very upsetting when you have spinal cord problems and scar tissue in your neck. So I started developing a stiff neck, and then I can't keep my eyes open, but then I can't keep my eyes closed. And then I start having what I interpret as anxiety, but I later realized after we got home and I tried going to sleep and my eyes started rolling up to the top of my head, I started realizing this is the same thing that happens to me when I overdose on Latuda. So I take that to mean that the medication they gave me that they said was not going to react with my Latuda, or was less reactive, I guess, did interact with my Latuda, and I had the worst night's sleep of my life. I'm following up with the headache clinic on Thursday. Good luck.